all of the messengers, when they spoke about Allah, His names, His attributes, to worship Him alone, not to worship anything other than Him. When they spoke about the angels, when they spoke about the prophets, when they spoke about the paradise, the hellfire, the last day, these things would not change. And also, for example, the core teachings, for example, to pray, to fast, to give charity, to be honest, not to commit adultery, not to lie, not to cheat. These are core teachings wouldn't change. It would have to be the same. So we understand the Quran is confirming that which came before it, but also is a criteria of what came before it, because the books we have, as I said, they cannot be traced back to Moses or Jesus. So you don't know everything about what was written before. No. Would you like to find that? We wouldn't need to. Why? Yeah, because the thing is, when you have a final revelation and it abrogates which came before it, the Quran is sufficient. Like, for example, when the Prophet Muhammad came, he, from the Quran, from his own speech, he affirmed the previous prophets. He affirmed the revelation. So he didn't teach that they said this, they said this. He taught what the Quran taught, and he taught his own teachings, because he's the final messenger. But the thing is, when the Quran says that the Quran is a preserved revelation, this can be demonstrated. And when the Quran says that the previous books, they have been changed or they have been distorted, this can be demonstrated as well. Because even, for example, non-Muslim scholars will tell you many things in the Bible cannot be traced back to Jesus. Many things in the Bible cannot be traced back to Moses. Do you believe that? Angel was in existence in Muhammad's time? No. It wasn't there? No, because you'd have to demonstrate it. Because when you see the scriptures where it says that if you have any doubts, go to the Christians or Jews and basically take from what they have. Can I say you the verse? Okay. How are you doing for time? Okay, no problem. Maybe we'll make this the last point, and then we can finish another time. So this is, it's commonly quoted. So this is chapter 10 of the Quran, verse 94. I'll try and make it concise. No, sorry, chapter 10, verse 94. Yeah. Maybe I said it wrong.
List from your room, sell without the hassle, and get paid stress-free. Declutter fast and even faster. For fashion and so much more, download Vinted and start selling today.
The beauty of the Warriors Drive. Specsavers' best worst team and no longer the worst team in the country.
We've actually won 9 of the last 12 games.
As their season ends, there's everything to play for.
That is different between 52.
Watch on YouTube now.
So the Arabic, فإن كنت في شك مما أنزلنا إليك فاسأل الذين يقرؤون الكتاب من قبلك لقد جاءك الحق من ربك فلا تكونن من الممترين. So see, because I understood you as implying that therefore the Muslims, they should go back to the Bible to confirm if their teaching is correct, and it would therefore make the Bible the authority. So I think that's usually how the argument is. Okay, the first point to understand is a conditional sentence. If you are in doubt, ask those who recite the book before you. So the question is, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, was he in doubt? And did he go to the Jews? So this was revealed in Medina. In Medina, there were Jewish communities. There was 3 Jewish tribes. Bani Qurayza, Bani Qaynuqa, and Bani Nadir. 3 Jewish tribes who were there in Medina because they were expecting a prophet to come. That's what they were there waiting for. So we don't have any reports where the Prophet ﷺ said, I was in doubt and I went to them. So firstly, we understand it's a conditional statement. Sometimes a conditional statement is used to add emphasis. Not that it's a command to go and do it. That's the first thing.
But how do you know whether it is emphasis or an actual command? Determine if you're reading it.
Because it has a condition. If you are in doubt, then go and ask those who recited the book before you.
So how do you determine whether it is a commandment?
It's a commandment based on the condition. If the condition is met,
So it's not emphasis.
yeah. No, it's structured by a condition and a command to give emphasis. For example, look, the condition is if you, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you are in doubt about the Quran given to you, then the command is, or the answer to the condition is, go and ask those who recited the book before you. So we're saying that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when this is revealed, he did not have any doubt about the revelation given to him. And we know this because he never went and asked the people.
But that doesn't mean that the book wasn't there to the time. And according to this scripture, Surah chapter 5, 43 says, but why do they come to you for judgment? They already have the Torah containing God's judgment. Then they turn away after all.
No problem.
Not true believers.
No problem.
So is this saying
What I say is, let's finish with the first verse, and then if you have time, we can go to the second one.
no, I'm going to have to go now. But that one is very clear that they had the book.
But can I tell you something? You can't make a statement, make a claim, and then say I've got to go.
Yeah.
We're on 1094.
Yeah. Well, we have finished. But we've already affirmed that there's a commandment.
No.
Not a thing to emphasize.
No. We haven't. When you say we affirmed it, are you saying that I affirmed it?
You did.
No.
I said it was a commandment.
I said very clearly, it's a command based on a condition. If the condition is fulfilled, then this is what you have to do. But our point is, this condition never took place. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was never in doubt. Therefore, he never went to ask the people who recited the book before him if his revelation was true. So therefore, it's used as an emphasis, even if you are in doubt.
So not a command.
No, it's a command if the condition is still fulfilled. If this happens, do this. But if this thing never happens, like say for example, just an example. If your mom says, if so and so comes and he drops off his goods, give him this money. So you have been commanded by your mom to give this person this money, but the person doesn't come. He doesn't drop off the goods. Are you commanded to give the money? Yeah, but the condition's not there. So the point is,
That doesn't mean that the book is not there.
the point is here, then we have to understand, the Quran says, go and ask the people who recited the book before you. It doesn't say, go to the book.
Yeah, that's correct.
It goes to the people who recited the book before you. So
they have a recitation of the book before.
let me finish. When it says those people who recite in the book before you, we understand it means when you go to someone for a witness, you go to a trustworthy person. But when it says go to those who recited the book before you, go to the trustworthy people, which you will understand is those people who are Jews or Christians who accepted Islam. Let me just finish the point. Yeah, because they have to be honest and trustworthy. Because go to those who recited the book before you, then you go to the trustworthy people who recited the book before you. It doesn't even go to the liars. Like, say, just an example. You as a Christian, you believe in the New Testament. And you believe that Jesus' prophecies can be found in the Old Testament. And you could say to someone, go to those people who know the book and they'll tell you it's there. You don't mean the people who rejected Jesus. You mean what you consider to be the honest people who know the Old Testament. That's what you mean. So when the Quran says go to those people, just to conclude, when it says go to those people who read the book before you, they will affirm that which the Prophet Muhammad came with. So, for example, the most important thing in Islam is to worship God alone. Do not worship anything other than God. Go to the people who recited the book before you, they will affirm this.
But it still goes to
Let me finish. Islam teaches that God who sent messengers who are human beings who are trustworthy. Go to the people before you and ask them, is that true? They will say yes. Islam teaches there's one who will like it after. Go to the people who recited the book before you. Islam teaches to pray, to fast, not to lie, not to cheat, not to commit adultery, not to commit murder. Go to the people before you and ask them, and they will show you it doesn't mean that the Bible is a criteria over, because the Quran.
I wasn't trying.
Okay, but that's.
I was saying whether the book was there or not.
Yeah.
It's not saying whether the book is there or not.
Go to the people who know the book. Yeah.
Saying that the book is not there. So that's why I went to this other chapter.
Can I show you where the Quran says?
So yes, I'll read this one. You read the other one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, of course, I read 5:43 says, "So why do they come to you for judgment when they already have this maintaining out of judgment? They always turn away after war. They are not to the evil. They're saying that they have."
Okay.
So,
Do you know the incident that took place? Because we take from the Quran and we take from the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and if you read the verses before, it tells you the incident. The Quran, the Hadith. Depends which Hadith. If you're talking about Imam Bukhari, who died 250 years after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, no, but every Hadith has a chain going back to the. The problem is if you want to apply this, we're going to say what is the earliest manuscript you have of the Torah, and you're going to say the Dead Sea Scrolls is more than 1,000 years later. So the Hadith, they all have changed. Yeah. No problem. Yeah. You should have it. No, because when the Quran says it's a clear explanation of all things, the Quran tells you that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No, but the thing is, I haven't even finished my sentence. How do you know the contradiction? So, tells you that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent to explain the Quran. So if the Quran is telling you that this is a clear book that explains all things, and the Quran is telling you that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam explains it, then his explanation is part of the explanation of the Quran. Anyway, let's look. If you read the verses, so
Muhammad's explanation is part.
It does. Chapter 16, verse 44.
That Muhammad's explanation of the Quran
is the explanation, yeah, that he was sent to explain it. Chapter 16, verse 44. But let's just stick to this point, because otherwise we're going to be confused. Okay. No problem. We're here today. Normally, I think Roma's but I have to go at 5:30. No problem. But chapter 5, I think it's 40 or 39. Let me look at it. Believing the Quran will tell you. Yeah, it says that. Yeah, but that's not the intent. That's not the intent.
Is it saying that they don't have it or they do have it?
I'll explain it to you.
Yes or no? Do they have it or do they do it?
44 says that they don't have it. So yeah. So no, it's 44 says they were given the responsibility to take care of it. See, the thing is, then we'll go through the subject. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. So the point was, where we left was chapter 5, verse 43. You say that Showdown was written in the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 7th century. Okay, thank you for your time. All the best. Take care. The young man here, may Allah guide us and him, his main, the contention at the end was, well, the beginning contention was that I'm saying that their message cannot be traced back to Moses and Jesus, therefore it's not reliable. And then the Torah and the Injil existed in the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he brought chapter 5 of the Quran, verse 43, where it says, "Why do they come to you, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the judgment when they have the Torah with him?" So that's where we left it. And also that the Quran was revealed in a time in history. There is a reason why this is revealed. We call it as Baba's Nuzul. Why was this revealed? We have the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam concerning this, and the verse which came before is because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he became the ruler of the city of Medina, because the Ansar, the two tribes of the Arabs, the Aus and the Khazraj, they accepted him as the ruler. In Medina at the time, there was the Arab Mushrikeen, and there was the Jewish tribes who were waiting for a prophet to come. They accepted reluctantly that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the ruler over them. The Jews at the time had in the books which were with them, the Torah which was with them, that the punishment for the one who commits adultery is they should be stoned. The Jews had changed this ruling, where they said that the person, his body should be covered, he should be humiliated, the man and woman should be taken to the city or the town and humiliated in front of people. So they abandoned the law. So this event took place. Because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the ruler, the Jews, they brought the case to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they said at the beginning of the section mentioned, verse 41, ayat 41, it mentions that they said to their people, go to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he's someone who doesn't accept bribery. He gives a fair ruling. If the ruling is in your favor, then take it. If the ruling goes against you, then don't take it. So this is their intent of coming. So therefore, Allah, He mentioned to them, why are they coming to you, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for the ruling when the Torah, meaning that particular law, is in their books? And when they brought, which they considered the Torah, which was left over from the revelation given to Moses, when they brought it to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they read the verses, and one of them placed his hand over the verse of stoning. So, if I'm not mistaken, Abdullah bin Salam, who was a Jewish rabbi who had embraced Islam, so the point of this section of the chapter was